Guys, welcome in. Let's see what the vibe for today is. I hope you all are doing well. All right, let's get started. I have healing with nature. Your soul yearns to be outside in nature around the healing waters, flowers, and trees. Okay, so you might have spent a lot of time being really busy on work, maybe adulting and, other responsibilities. And what they're saying here is, it might be time to get outside, get a little bit of sunshine, get a little bit of fresh air, in your lungs and just take a little bit of a break. Maybe you've been, really busy, had a lot going on. Maybe you've just had never ending to-do list. And now you've been really frazzled. And so it's saying you might need to get a little bit grounded, and you can do that in nature. Maybe get a little sun on your face and enjoy the breeze. Let's keep going with this. I have anticipation. Okay, so you might be getting a little bit excited, or you might be, needing to take a break and get outside and get grounded because you're, in this state of anticipation of something coming. Maybe you have put, some resumes out there and you're expecting some responses. You're hopeful, you're waiting for, things to come in, and, you're just getting a little bit, anxious about them. Okay, so sometimes we can get really anxious, we can get really grounded even if it's something that we're really excited for coming in. It doesn't always have to be stress that gets us in a little bit of a frazzle. And so we need to take time to get grounded, get present, so that we can kind of calm that nervous system down. Let's keep going. This looks good so far. I have passion and pleasure. Savor your life again. So this is like an instance of like all work and no play. It's making sure that you take time to get outside, feel the breeze on your face, look at the trees, maybe take a walk with nature, maybe walk your pets, and, really take time to enjoy your life and indulge in things that really bring you joy and bring you pleasure. All right, let's keep going. So far, so good. Okay. I love being encouraged to play and have fun. I don't know about you. Okay, I have the traumatized. I acknowledge that I have been traumatized, but also that I am healing. Okay, so you might have been on a really long journey. Okay, life isn't always so kind to us. We have a lot of trials, tribulations, lessons that we learn, situations we go through, challenges that we have to overcome. And, it's not always easy on us. Okay. And so sometimes because we have to, keep going through life, we tend to ignore and neglect our needs and, acknowledge how far we've come. We need to honor our own bodies and minds needs, and just realize how much we've been through, honor that, accept that, understand that it's over, and find a way to move beyond those things. Really start looking at how good life is now and how positive and vibrant it will look here in the future. Okay, so although you may have been through a lot of things, a lot of challenges in your life so far, maybe even all the way back into childhood, it's saying here is that just take time for yourself. Take a moment to just take a breath, take a break. It may be a lot, but things will get better. Okay. So it looks like, you've been through a lot, but things are beginning to take a really positive step forward. Okay. Let's take a look at the overall energy here. The overall energy I have here is the King of Wands. Okay. So this is an energy of just saying, hey, this is just kind of getting your mojo back. Okay. With here, it's just trying to say, hey, I know you've been through a lot. I know that things have been really stressful. Maybe, work has been really hard, or, you've had some, family difficulties or friendship difficulties and challenges. But what it's saying here is you need to take time to honor yourself so that you can then rest and rejuvenate and kind of build up that life force energy once again. Okay. So get that mojo back because you're a very capable, confident person, but maybe you've been feeling a little bit down and out because you've been so weighed down by responsibilities and other, challenges that you've been through in your life or in the recent past. Okay. Let's take a look at the recent past and see how we got here. The recent past, I have the world card. This doesn't really surprise me. Okay. So here with the world card, it's telling me that in the recent past, and the reason why you're kind of feeling a little bit down, maybe a little bit low on energy, maybe not feeling the most confident and creative, right now, not really wanting to get outside, not really wanting to do anything, you might be finding that you're staying home a lot. And that's okay because, you can take time to be in a place where you feel calm and comfortable so that you can move through some of these challenging times. Okay. Especially when you've had trauma from the past or as a childhood. When we're dealing with current traumas and, challenges now, it can be very traumatizing to us still because it may be something very minute in our present moment or present situations that we're dealing with in those challenges, but it can really oftentimes trigger things inadvertently from our past when we've had a really challenging childhood, especially a traumatic one. Okay. So, just give yourself grace and understand that sometimes we're being triggered, not because, we're so sensitive and it's ridiculous or anything like that. So don't, get to talking negative like that. But what this is saying is that you've been through a lot. It's okay. Acknowledge that. You're brave and strong for how far you've come, for how much you've been through. Okay, so you may have a little bit of knock to your confidence and knock to your energy, but it's because you've been closing out significant cycles with the world card here in the recent past. No wonder you're feeling the way that you are. Maybe you're not exactly, as spunky as you usually are. Let's take a look at the present energy. Present energy is the star. Again, you're healing. This doesn't surprise me. You went through a time of, closing out significant chapters in your life, significant situations that couldn't have been very easy. And now you're getting this, healing energy. Okay. So again, not only is it good to take time to rest, relax a little bit, hibernate a little bit and be in our own little cave, but there is a time and a place for doing that and then also getting outside. So it doesn't mean that it's encouraging you to just jump out, get on, the wagon again and get out into the world and start socializing and doing all of these things. That's not really what it's saying here. But what it is encouraging you to do is saying, hey, maybe you've been home a lot and that's cool and you're healing. But maybe, get outside a little bit. Maybe you could just go to a park or you can take a little bit of walk in your neighborhood and, just take time to enjoy outside, get grounded in nature. And then at least you're stepping outside, putting, getting that sun on your face and getting a little bit of that vitality back. And maybe that will be exactly what you need to kind of like kickstart you into the coming weeks and get things rolling again positively in your life. Okay. So keep your head up. It's coming. Let's take a look at the near future. Let's take a look at the near future here. I have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so again, this is a new cycle beginning, closing out the old cycles, wrapping up those loose ends, finishing up the healing and integrating of those old lessons and experiences, and things are beginning to turn. Okay, so again, like you said, you're healing right now from some, really challenging experiences in your life and closing out other challenging cycles, but it's time for a new cycle to begin in your life. And so this is saying, I know you've been inside, but let's get things started a little. Things are starting to change. They're starting to shift and they're going in a positive direction. So let's get going. You've got good things coming for you. Let's take a look at, your advice. Advice, please. I have temperance. This is just kind of being in a state of allowing things to alchemize within you. Okay. When you've been through a lot, your mind can race, your emotions can be, going crazy. They're up and down and all around. And what this is saying in your advice is just, get calm. Okay. You need to give yourself grace and get yourself in a place where you're doing things that really just kind of calm your nervous system down, calm those anxieties down, and make you feel good. Okay. Let's look at what's hidden here. Let's see what's hidden. Maybe something you're not seeing that would be helpful. I have the Nine of Cups. So again, this is just focusing on things that bring you joy. There's a wish fulfillment that's looking to come in when these positive shifts take place into this new cycle. Okay. So, keep your head up. It's good things are coming in, things that are, your wish fulfillment, things that'll be very joyful to you. And so it's just a matter of just getting, balanced and riding that wave for a little bit as things transition into the new. Okay. So hold on tight. You're almost there. Let's take a look at what you don't see coming in the coming weeks. I have strength coming out and what you don't see coming in the coming weeks. Okay. So again, you're building a new inner and outer strength. Okay. So even though we've been through a lot of challenges, it's saying you can do hard things. You are strong enough to get through all of this. You can get through anything. Okay. So take heed in knowing that you're building a beautiful inner resilience and strength within you that is then going to reflect outside of you as well. So that you can know that if I can overcome all of these things, I really can do anything. Okay. And then you're not going to be in a place where you're, maybe holding back a little bit from old experiences. Sometimes we tend to kind of resist where we're like, oh, I've been there, done that. Like, I just got over that. I don't even want to do that again. But, this is giving us, the confidence to say that, if I've been through all of that and I navigated it, yeah, it was tough, but, I came out on the other side even better, even stronger, even more resilient. Okay. So, you can do hard things. You can do all of these things. Anything that's going to come your way in the future, you can absolutely handle if you've been through all of this already. Here I have the Fool on the bottom of the deck. Again, just validating the fact that there's a new cycle that's beginning to take shape, take form, and is the wheels are already in motion. Okay. So, be ready to take those leaps of faith, even though they can be a little bit challenging because of your past. Have that strength and courage to take that leap of faith into new opportunities when they present themselves. Again, use your discernment, of course, but don't always take that everything that feels kind of negative or bad at first, where you kind of resist, doesn't mean that it's going to be bad. So you may want to just open yourself up to these new opportunities and just try, and then you could just say, yeah, that's not really for me. Or if it becomes challenging, yeah, I can do this. I can overcome this. I'm good. Or it may turn out to be the best thing that ever happened to you. Okay. So this is just saying, keep an open heart, open mind, get yourself grounded. You've been through a lot. Give yourself credit and give yourself kindness and grace, and things are beginning to move forward for you in a very positive way. I hope you found this reading to be helpful. And until I see you again, take care.